Hi, my name's Steve. Welcome aboard my narrowboat home, Moorland Rose. Please join me as I take a slow boat through Britain. After an extended stay at Ilkeston because of low water levels, I was sat on the bottom for a while. It's time to move on. I want to spend a couple of days at the head of the navigation, Langley Mill. It is unusual to see a road so close to the canal edge with no barrier, but I cannot find any evidence of vehicles driving into the canal here. Yet another windy day. It seems to be standard weather for this year. The tomato plants on the roof are starting to flower well. Fingers crossed for another good crop this year. Well done, the Erywash. It's really helpful for a solo boater to have a good set of bollards to tie up to at each lock. And even better, 2 Canal and River Trust guys to work the lock for me. They were there to check the water levels after the problems of the last 2 days. Thanks guys, much appreciated. And another lockie at the next lock. He's feeding water through to fill a pound further downstream. Unfortunately, he tells me that there's a real chance that the canal will be closed completely in the next few days because of the water shortage. That might upset my plans. Looking at the side, a fair bit of water has been let out of this pound. I hope he's stopped running that water out at the last lock. If the CRT guys are still taking water out of this pound, can you tell them to stop at the next lock? Hopefully the message will get through. The water is now so low, I'm stuck on the bottom. I managed to get ashore and walk up to the next lock to let some water down and get going again. Having taken water out of the next pound, I now need to wait while it fills up again. The CRT guy is going to cycle ahead and let some water through at the next lock. He too warns me that there's a chance that the canal will be closed soon. It's not looking good. Taking it steady, I push on to the final lock. Great Northern Basin is the current head of navigation. Back in the day, it was the junction of 3 canals serving the coalfields: the Erewash, which we have just travelled, the Cromford and the Nottingham canals, which were abandoned due to subsidence from the mining. Although it is hoped that the Cromford Canal will be restored at some stage, it appears that the Nottingham Canal is beyond recovery. Chatting with Kim and Paul from the boat behind me about the situation of the closure of the canal, we decide to make our way back to Trent Lock as quickly as possible. So, changing our plans, we both set off the next morning. Kim and Paul on Kumpali had gone ahead to set the first lock, so I could see her straight in.
Actually, forget the ladders, it'd be easier if you're that side.
We had discussed how we were going to share the lock work, but I had had a rethink on the way.
I think, from memory, if you try to go out of one gate, it's very close to hitting the bridge room. No, you get very tight on the bridge, behind the bridge.
Oh right, yeah. I'll take you that side, I think.
Kim works her gate while I do mine. Paul stays on the boat. Sorry Paul, I know you put in as much work as we did. We only need one bottom gate open, as I can push Moreland Rose across and go out the same gate as Kumpali. That way, while they head off the next lock, I only have one gate to close before heading to catch them up. Kim and Paul have gotten well ahead, so should have the next lot ready when I get there. The derelict building ahead was once the Bridge Inn. It was unfortunately closed about 2019. It was one of the few canal-side pubs remaining on the Erywash. Kim and Paul are there, waiting with the lock ready. We are getting into a routine now. They carry on while I close up.
Hello. They're looking good.
Opening both top gates allows us both to get into the lock easily, and I can jump off and close my side while Paul does the same on his, and Kim is ready to start opening the bottom paddles. Now we're working well. We're still planning to make it all the way back to Trent Lock.
A bit shallow at that mount, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were just letting some more water through.
Open it.
Spoken too soon. The next pound is low on water and Kumpali has grounded leaving the lock. Opening the other gate allows Paul to shove Kampali into deeper water. We let just a little bit more water through and push ahead slowly.
Hopefully Kim will have the lock ready.
Kim has walked ahead to set the next lock and save us having to pull into the side.
Hello?
The two-way radios are really handy when there are two of you.
Stay down the centre.
Yeah.
I'll keep it nice and slow as well.
Yeah, no, thanks, turn it up. Right.
Would you do me a favour? Close this gate behind me.
I'm never too proud to ask a gongoozler for help. It saves me stopping after all. With water levels back to normal on this pound, we push on. Normal service resumed. I wouldn't normally travel so far in a day, but we were both determined to get to Trent Lock before they closed the Erywash and trapped us here. Unfortunately, I was so concentrated on moving, I forgot to check the GoPro battery, and so didn't record the final 4 locks. Needless to say, it was getting late as we moored up at Trent Lock. We just had time to treat ourselves to a meal at the Trent Lock pub. A busy day, and I couldn't have done it without the help of Paul and Kip, but that's what boating is all about. Sorry you couldn't accompany us on the final stretch, but join me next time at Trent Lock. Don't forget, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. It really does help YouTube promote my vlogs to a wider audience. So, until next time, stay safe, see you soon.